Ghostbusters. No? You never like my song.
I don't.
Ah. All right. Well, hello and welcome back to the Yesteryear podcast. My name is James. I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Beth. Beth, as always, how are you today?
Today I'm feeling awfully old.
Oh, no. Why old?
Because I'm old.
Oh, I'm sorry. Time going by
I
fast?
got the bones of an old person.
You got wee bones?
They looked at my bones and they said, "These are wee."
So, I wanted to say, I know you've been super busy with life in general, not to mention all of your school and work. I just wanted to say good job by you.
Yep.
So,
Killing it.
You are killing it. It's dead.
Dead.
With the bones and all.
Like that one horse, Atreus.
Atreyu is his name, and the horse's name was Artax.
Oh.
And how dare you? How dare you?
I got a bad memory.
Artax. Rip Artax.
I tried.
Oh, man. Blue and Artax are untouchable. We do not touch them.
Blue? The dog? That dog dies.
No, it doesn't. Nice.
Oh.
Let me ask you, Beth. Have you ever had any ghost experiences?
Yes.
Can I have a...
Which one?
Like anything. Like what's your most
Well, the one I usually tell people is I'm psychic. I have mystical abilities. You see, we went to a place in Maryland for a Mother's Day thing once.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were up there, I said something. I was like, "Oh, I do feel like there is a little girl here who died." And then they were like, "Anyways, guys, a little girl here died." And I was all like, "Ooh, I'm one with the spirits. The spirits are one with me." So there was that.
That was a really fun trip.
That was. There was the one time in the other house where we sat down in the dark while Mom had her phone or something recording and asking the ghost questions, and then we picked up voices. There was a voice. It was like an old man's voice or something like that, yeah. And then she was like, "Anyways, when you go to bed, don't think about it, or else the demons are gonna possess you." And I was like, "Damn, I would have tried really hard not to think about that." And I was like, "That's crappy." And like, if you let the fear control you, then you will be possessed. Oh, I'm scared. Meh.
Well, that's both interesting and sad.
I'm trying to think. I like ghosts. I definitely believe ghosts exist. I think that leftover energy exists. So I like that kind of stuff, haunted houses and everything. I'd love to go do one now that I'm older.
Yeah.
Because we were much younger when we went up there.
Yeah.
I'd like to go now and do one now. I think that'd be really cool.
Cool. Well, as you know, your mom and I once stayed the night in a haunted house down in Virginia Beach. And we did a paranormal investigation. We had a great time. We did it for our anniversary or for your mother's birthday. Anniversary.
It all blends together.
I'm old. Me and my bones.
The wee bones.
My wee bones. We actually did catch a couple EVPs at one point. And we heard this conversation going on with a man and a woman. And we got all like, put out because we were like, "Hey man, you're supposed to be just us." And we thought it was just like a couple people that were going to be there. We're like, we're recording. Why are you guys being so loud? I mean, and it went on. It was like a conversation. They were like, "Ho, ho, 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 blah, 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 ho, ho." And the guy's voice was really deep. Later that night, we talked to the women that were there about telling the dude that was talking to keep it down for us. And they were like, "What are you talking about? What man?" It turns out the conversation we heard wasn't coming from anyone living. So that's pretty cool.
No, that is cool.
Yeah, because the only people that were there were just the two women, and they were in a back room. And they were nowhere near anywhere where they would have echoed or anything like that because we had to go find them. It was actually pretty neat. Because your mom and I looked at each other like, "Oh." So, we like I said, we caught EVPs. We caught all kinds of stuff in there. I mean, there was like a little, like it literally sounded like they were talking in our ear. It was that good.
Yeah, I used to really enjoy watching Ghost Adventures when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because that stuff was cool to me. But they get, as it goes on, then you're like, "How many ghosts are there, Mr. Man?"
Well, they have to make the money.
Yeah, they gotta make the money, spend the money.
So they can spend the money.
Yeah. But I understand. But I mean, God, I love that kind of stuff. I love where it's not dangerous for you.
Yeah.
You know, because like some people get scratches and such. So
Sure.
when it's not dangerous, it's very nice.
Yeah, of course, planned spookiness is one thing.
I don't like going through haunted houses.
Unplanned spookiness is a complete another.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when I'm coming home late at night from work or whatever, and I've been listening to a friggin' spooky podcast, and I get out of the car and it's all dark. I'm all, ooh, ghosts are gonna get me.
That's how
I can hear noises, all the creepy, and it's creaky, and the shadows are moving, and I'm all just trying to get my keys in the car like Steven.
Dude, that's how I feel when like the radio bugs out. I feel like because you know something goes in and out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna get some kind of secret message and be like, help me.
You know how at the end of Poltergeist when he was trying to get his keys out of his pocket to get into the car, and they're like, "Come on!" and he's like, "That's how I like dancing around." I'm sure that if the neighbors were looking at me, they're like, "Look at this fool!" You know?
Yeah,
they stay up 2:00 with popcorn so they can see me come home.
Take the binoculars.
I hope he's listening to something spooky. Yeah. So I know your mother has me on camera sometimes, and she's probably sitting there watching me. She always tries to scare me.
I had forgot my water bottle in the car yesterday when I got home from work. Like 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I mean. And so I was going back out to the car, but I was on the phone. I made a joke. I was like, be a real shame if some nice gentleman with lots of money came and took me right now. Be a real shame. I was like, no takers? None? Aw.
Hey, nobody out here?
I don't got shoes on. I got flip-flops on.
Nice.
I couldn't run away. So, you know, if you got a lot of money, get the money. So spend the money.
So you can spend the money.
You know the first thing I would do if I could win the lottery?
Be happy? I don't know.
I'd buy a go-kart.
Really? A go-kart?
Yeah, I'd want to scoot around. Well, first I would get a really big house with nothing in it. And I would completely destroy it with my go-kart. You know how in
Mario Kart?
The Shining.
Yeah, how he's got
Yes, but I want one.
Bikes.
Yeah, but I want one that I can sit comfortably and go down the stairs and such.
Well, I mean, if you had that money,
and I could destroy it and get another one.
Yeah, wreck it out. Somebody wreck this. Take it back to the store.
What the hell? I was like, bring me a butler so I can fire him.
Go through the whole hiring process. All right, you're fired.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I buy a turtle.
Of course.
One of the old ones. But I wouldn't keep it on me. I'd put it on you.
A tortoise?
Yeah, I'd give you the tortoise. You have to keep the tortoise.
I would keep... Look, man, if I've got the means, the space, and the know-how to take care of a tortoise, I would take care of it. It'd be great. Feed it little lettuce and stuff. Watch it eat.
The cactus. It's very satisfying. Very satisfying.
It is. They look like little happy animals, and I mean, I assume it'd be interesting to watch it. You can get on its back and ride it around.
You might kill it.
Oh, because I'm fat.
Well, also because you probably 3 times the weight of a turtle. How much can they carry? Probably.
I don't know how much. Are they like ants where they can carry like 3 times their weight?
You know, that'd be interesting, but I feel like you just got the shell and it's pretty hollow in there. And then, oh no, maybe not. I don't remember.
It's all their guts and bones.
Right. That's right. That's gross, man. Turtles are freaky.
Turtles are freaky.
And then it's really sad though when you find them and they've got the crushed up.
Yeah, it's all broken. It's like, that's so sad. So my aunt, my aunt.
I have a lot of fond memories of you saving turtles and such across the roads.
I've really always tried to.
You always try to. It's very nice. We pull over, and I'm like, Dad, let me come out in the car. I want to touch the turtle. And you're like, no, stay in the car. You can't touch the turtle. I'm like, I want to touch the turtle.
Yeah.
I would like to touch the turtle. And you like, damn turtle, kept putting it back. there was one time I think you dropped me off for practice or somewhere, and you were like, we stopped for the turtle, and then when you came back to come get me, you were like, that damn turtle's in the road again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they try to go to wherever they're going, and if you deter them, they just try and go back. So you literally have to, like, whatever way they're facing, you have to try and take them to that space. Because if you don't, they're just gonna go back again.
Yeah, that's what
your mom said.
Poor turtle.
She's really smart. So,
well, yeah, I mean that only makes sense if I'm facing one way and I'm not gonna turn around.
Right. I guess I'll go west.
I would like west.
West.
I'd be so mad if I was a turtle and you picked me up and I was like, I gotta walk my ass all the way back over there, you know?
Right. Then you're then back to the whole turtle family with the turtle wife and everything like that. Yeah, turtle wife. And they're like, what took you so long to get home? And then it's like, well, this guy kept picking me up and putting me back facing the other way. I mean, man
was 3 times my size.
And I couldn't carry him.
I could not pick up a tortoise. That's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be heavy.
They're so big.
So they're always
my favorite thing to see, like at the zoo and such like that.
Agreed.
And sometimes they wouldn't be moving around; they'd just be like laying. But I have seen them when they're like really like all elongated out, like their legs are really long and everything like that. It's like, wow, these are really interesting.
I also liked seeing the birds.
Like in the birdhouse?
Yeah. But from a distance.
Yeah.
So then it's all loud in your ears, you know.
I don't like birds, man.
Got sensitive ears.
Birds. There's a really pretty bird out back that's like...
I know this is off topic by a lot, but I saw this video where, I mean, we are stringing
We're like
off.
6 feet off topic.
Yeah, but I saw a video where there's like bird, she had trained it. Because I feel like if you could sit down and have the time to train a bird, get a bird. But some people get them, they don't do anything with them. But this lady, she had trained it so that, like, to give kisses.
Oh.
So it was like, she was like, it was a challenge to just stand or sit with your face in front of the bird and see what happened. And the bird just kept giving her kisses and trying to get a reaction out of her because it thought she was sad. So it was like, kisses. And it was like kissing up on her face. And I'm like, that's so cute. And all the comments were like, give that bird kisses right now. Agreed.
Yeah. If the bird's going to take the time to kiss, you take the kiss.
Yeah, take the kiss, give the kiss back.
Jerk people.
Yeah.
All right. Back to the movie.
Back to the movie.
So, what was your initial impression of the movie?
As I've said before, with some movies where you're just supposed to have a good impression because, I mean, this is one of the classic movies that everyone knows, kind of like pop culture kind of thing.
Sure.
So, good.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did. I thought the trailer was pretty good. It kind of makes you want to watch. So, I'd watch based off the trailer. But I probably wouldn't watch based off of, like, the DVD art or the poster art because it was a cartoon ghost. And I would think that it was, like, silly. And not.
The DVD art is different than what it was. It was the three of, like, if I think I saw one of them where it was the actual what it was, where it was like the three of them standing with the proton packs and everything.
Because I don't really like funny, scary movie. Like, that's not really what I go for. If I go for a horror movie, I'm going for a scary movie. So I probably wouldn't go for something like this normally.
Yeah.
Unless I was, like, with a group of friends, and we were like, well, let's just go see something lighthearted. You know, I'd be like, okay, well, let's go see this.
Gotcha.
So, but, yeah.
What did you give the trailer?
Oh, a 3.5.
3.5 out of 5? That sounds about right on top. That's probably right about where I'd come in with it. Ghostbusters is an action comedy that was released June 8th, 1984. It was directed by Ivan Reitman and written by Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. It stars Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, and a whole bunch of other actors that are just known actors at the time.
I always get Bill Murray and Tom Hanks mixed up.
Do you?
Like, when I was younger, I used to mix them up all the time.
Crazy.
And he's so old now, but he like in all the movies Bill Murray was in, he always looked the same.
Yes.
So.
And he's very also the same in like a lot of his movies. It's like Bill Murray, okay, it's going to be a Bill Murray movie.
Yeah. And this is like, I think, our third movie with Rick Moranis.
We had the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Mm-hmm. We had...
There was one before that.
Shoot. I don't remember. No, I don't.
Honey, We Shrunk the Kids.
He's in this. We have that to review, but we have not done so yet.
No, we did, like, there were 3. There was one more.
I don't think so, kid.
Yeah, because there was one more that he was in because we were like, oh, this guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. But I think maybe he was a kid?
No.
Oh, I swear. Dang. Oh, some of these aren't even English.
I can't remember.
Oh, I hated this show. Oh my gosh. Miss Spider's Sunny Patch.
That's off topic.
That show gave me nightmares. You want to talk about scary? That one spider?
Yeah.
Not the one with like the white face. Oh, that was awful. Miss Spider's. Oh. Hold on, I'm gonna hit images and be like one of the first things that come up. Nope, never mind. This guy.
Oh my god.
Oh god, Spiderus. You want to talk about why I don't like
a cartoon?
Yes, I agree.
That thing is terrifying.
I agree. You want to tell?
I've seen memes with that face.
But this guy tells me to do my chores and I'm doing them.
Oh, that's true.
You know? Oh, this show was just something else. It's off. Look at this. What is the?
Gucci, Gucci, goo.
I hate this damn
I'm
thing.
mad. Heck no, man.
I'm mad, bro.
Oh, that's horrible. So the film is about 3 former parapsychologists who open a business catching ghosts. Basically, pretty straightforward, I'd say. The film had a budget of around $30 million and ended up grossing $282.2 million. So I would say that's a huge success.
I would.
That thing's horrible. Get that off the screen.
Sorry, I moved it.
Ghostbusters opened to positive reviews, and for the most part, it has remained in positive light and is now thought of as a classic, as you said.
Yeah.
There are some things that are now seen as negative, such as Dan Aykroyd smoking throughout the film, but for the time, that was normal. You know? Like, it just wasn't really a big deal. I think
a lot of them smoke. I think at one point they were all smoking.
I think you're right. I think movies are art, and they need to be appreciated for their time and not necessarily through the current social views. Does that mean, like, have you ever been to an art museum? We went there when you were a kid,
No,
if you remember, a long time ago. And we looked at what was popular throughout the ages. But I think there would be plenty of things that you would not say would be something you want to hang on your wall, but you can still appreciate them as art for what they are.
I think about Beetlejuice and the sculpture she's made.
Sure.
Yeah, but I feel like if I don't, art museums freak me out because I don't want to see something that's gonna mess me up. You know, I feel like if I go to an art museum, something's gonna really jank with my mind.
But I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like the Renaissance age, like some of the art from the Renaissance age versus like Picasso, or versus some of the other artists that, I mean, for their time, that art was, this is like, I mean, like some of those like pictures of like Christ on the cross and stuff like that, or like everybody's
that's fair.
Like,
that's like the stuff they have painted up in the Capitol, right? I think maybe it's the Capitol, or
the pictures, like the Sistine Chapel and stuff like that.
People don't really draw like that anymore.
I mean, it's great, and I appreciate it for art, but that's not something I want hanging on my living room wall. I want this hanging on my living room wall.
Yeah.
A picture of a river with a cow about to get eaten by an alligator.
You put the cow on there, and the alligator.
I put both of those things on there, but that makes me happy. That's the art that I would want.
I want the one picture. I want a painting. I want something here.
I know.
I want people to send us things.
But
that'd be cool.
It would be cool. Yes, a picture of something to do with me. Yeah. But
I want like an open field.
Right. So I'm just trying to say, art is for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't all of a sudden be like, I don't want this art because every
you're
time
preaching to the choir right now. I mean, as someone who does this kind of stuff, I agree. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I do appreciate you exposing me more to into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, we talked about that all week. Yeah.
But
since talking about that I watched that movie twice this week.
Yeah. I got to watch probably the whole movie now. I don't think I've watched it straightforward, but I did watch
it though. The sound's so good. And I watched with closed captions.
Yeah.
Because you miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of things. So you have the captions on as well, and you it says things that you don't really necessarily hear.
Gotcha.
And it's really good too. I enjoy it. I love that movie so much.
Cool. So, you know what I did like about this? The interactive title screen. Did you mess around with that at all?
So I actually...
It was a little animated.
I woke up at 9 o'clock this morning after going to bed at 4 because I hadn't watched it yet. And obviously, I didn't watch it yet. So I woke up at 9 o'clock and I said, oh, what a shame to be awake today. And then I turned on my PS4 because that's what I watch the movies on. And I plopped the movie in. And you remember when we did License to Drive?
Yeah.
And the song that plays? My dreams. Yes. And get my car. Yes. Yeah. But at least that had at least a minute of music. And then it reset. This was just the same line. Yeah. Over and over again. And for at least 20 minutes, I sat there in front of the screen because I was trying to set everything up. And I'm like, it's not worth turning it off yet. If I turn it off, I'm just going to have to turn it right back on. And you're saying, Beth, why didn't you just mute it? I couldn't find the remote. I turned the TV on with it, and I set the remote down, and I just couldn't find the remote again. And I said, on my life, if I have to listen to this Ghostbuster thing one more time. So no, I didn't get the chance to interact with the menu because by the time I was sat down ready to actually watch the movie, I just hit play. I said, please just begin.
So you didn't even see any of it? Like with the little guy walking?
No. No. Go down to my room.
Get into my
Get
car.
into my car.
Nice.
Oh,
Well, it does have an interactive animated, the DVD, at least the one that we have, with the song playing. But,
it's like 10 seconds of the song, and it's just repeated over and over again.
yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah. But to jump into it, I did like how the movie starts and jumps right into it, really. Like, it's like creepy music and opens on the New York Public Library. So no hesitation. I dig that. You know how I am with
Yeah, I
credits.
like that too.
To start, we have a little old lady is collecting and shelving books, and while she does, she's in the basement and she sees paranormal activity going on, like books floating back and forth and stuff like that. While she's walking past the Dewey Decimal System files, they start to open and fly out on her. Do you know what the Dewey Decimal is?
Yeah, because I was terrified I would have to learn it, because when I was volunteering at the library,
Oh, yeah.
you guys were like, if you have to learn the Dewey Decimal System, it's a lot of numbers. And I was like, and if I have to learn that, I'm just not volunteering.
But so you know of it.
Yeah, because she just gave me books and she was like, put these away. And I was like, okay. Actually, no, I had to start from the bottom to the top and rearrange to make sure everything was in the right place with the author and the back last name. And that was awful.
You know, I don't. The Dewey Decimal System isn't a problem for me until they added books. And then all of a sudden, when you'd have to add a book, you'd have to find in between. You'd have to go, like, you had to know everything about the book to make sure that you put the book in the right space.
Yes,
and then you'd have to
that's right.
take out the little thing, put the card in there, put the new thing back in there, and then you'd have to try and put it like 102.83.5 because you'd have to put it between .6 and .4 and everything.
You just unlocked a memory for me, actually. Oh. Because in elementary school, they used to pull us into the library, and they had this like little section back room where they had like a big they had like those like old timey where you pull it down and you have to play it on the wall.
Okay.
You know what that's called?
Talking about an overhead projector?
Yes, a projector. Okay. So they had a video and they were showing us this video, but then we were all sitting there on these like on the thing. And we were like, oh, this is so boring. We're like, you have to put things away according to the Dewey Decimal System. And this is how you do it. And you have to read the first couple pages and look at the numbers and then read the... And I was like, oh, lady, I don't want to do this. I was like, I can barely speak. You know, I can barely read right now.
I'm in the slow class. You weren't.
Aw, that's not nice.
Right. You weren't. Nobody. Sorry. It was a good memory.
It was.
Now it's crap. So, the old lady screams and runs. And as she does, she ends up running into something that scares the heck out of her when it growls. Then we see the movie title screen and with the guy named Peter Venkman, who is doing electroshock tests on 2 college students. So... he keeps shocking the guy no matter what he gets, but the girl he lets off even when she's wrong. What did you think of Peter Venkman? That's Bill Murray's character.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I liked him, but also it seems kind of forced, like you have to like him. Because he's the only one that's really funny. He's the comic relief of the movie.
Gotcha.
But a lot of what happens to his character seems really forced.
Okay.
Like, I didn't like... I don't remember what movie we were talking about. Maybe it was last week's movie. But forced relationships.
Right.
Him and that girl, Diana or whatever her name was. Dana. I hated that. He shows up and he knows it for like 2 seconds. And then, oh, I love you. We are meant to be together. Oh, but. No. No, for the sake of plot, I don't like that.
I gotcha.
But... I think it definitely was moments in this movie where I was like, oh, haha, that's funny.
Okay. So the guy gets upset and leaves from getting shocked. And Dr. Venkman tells the girl that she has ESP. So yeah, you might as well get used to it. A guy named Ray comes in and interrupts to talk to him about the ghost that was seen at the New York Library. He also says that Spangler is already down there at the library gathering readings. So now we already have the characters, which is cool. I love that. You know how I am about characters and names and everything.
Right.
Peter and Ray meet up with Egon and investigate the supposed ghost sightings. They first interview the old lady who Peter thinks is just crazy. And for the most part, Peter seems to just be going along with this as if it's a joke. Like, he's not really serious about it at all. Egon comes in and says it's moving, so they go downstairs to look for the ghost. They find a stack of books stacked like from the floor to the ceiling, and they get all excited, but Peter is not impressed. So they walk around and find some slime and tell Peter to get a sample, and it goes everywhere on him when he does. Sling it on his face and on. It's just gross. They then run into the ghost after a bookshelf almost falls on them, and they are unsure of what to do. The ghost looks like a little old lady floating looking at books. They decide that Peter should try to speak to it. He doesn't. It says, shh, to him. So then Ray decides to yell, get her. Like they're going to grab her or something.
Right.
And it gets all big and scary, and they run off terrified. So, completely unhelpful.
I did like the ghost went from cute old lady to creepy skeleton head thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, because it's all... So... afterwards, they're talking about the new readings that they got, and Egon says they could actually catch and hold a ghost in containment. Peter seems really interested in this and gives Egon a candy bar. He's like, you've earned it. And he gives him a candy bar. When they return to the university, they find they are being moved off campus as they are no longer going to fund their experiments. Ray is worried, however, Peter thinks this is fate and decides that they should go into business catching ghosts. So... a weird business, but I guess it's the name of the movie, so they gotta get into it, right?
Right.
They mortgage Ray's childhood home in order to get capital to start the business. They then rent a really crappy building that used to be a firehouse, and Peter and Egon are like, no way, but since it has a slidey pole, Ray wants it. So... would you want to go down one of those things, man?
I'd probably want to go down it, but I mean, I probably wouldn't.
I'm afraid I would just fall.
I feel like I would just get stuck.
Oh,
I feel like I wouldn't slide.
You would just...
Yeah, I would just be on it. Because that happened a lot in gymnastics.
Really?
I mean, they taught us to do that. So it got to the point where it was just like natural, where you just like kind of like
stiffen?
You stiff up, so you don't slide anymore. So I used to be like, I can't get down this pole. What do I do? And they're like, just let go. And I'm like, but there's no ball pit underneath me this time. I don't want to let go. So
I used to enjoy watching you guys do gymnastics, man. You guys flipping all over the place and all that kind of stuff.
I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, I do. That, and then we couldn't go anymore because Tabby said that our house burnt down. So.
Yep.
Oh, man. So that same day across town, a lady is coming home with groceries to her apartment. I enjoyed the scene with Dana and Lewis because he's such a little dork.
See, and I remember, I've never seen this movie.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd seen little pieces of it, but I hadn't. They take Lewis, I think, what is it, the second movie or the third?
He's not, well, he is in the second one.
But he becomes the Ghostbuster, doesn't he?
At the end, he puts on one of the uniforms and he goes and he sprays in part 2. He goes and shoots
I think I remember
the slime and
that.
He's got earmuffs on. But yeah, he doesn't really become, he kind of goes helps and everybody thinks that he did something, but he didn't really, but yeah.
Well.
Lewis tells Dana about the party he's having on and that she should stop by. He also tells her not to leave her TV on so loud because people complained. He literally keeps talking. She just closes the door on him.
Yeah. I feel bad for him. I always feel bad for the little guy.
Yeah. Then he's locked out of his apartment as well. Every time. Dana sees the commercial for the Ghostbusters and then goes to put her groceries away. And while she's doing so, the eggs start to actually pop out of the carton onto the counter, frying as if in a pan, which is gross. She hears growling coming from the refrigerator, and when she opens, this dog-looking demon thing says Zool. So she slams the door shut. The guys are getting settled into the building, and Ray gets a really beat up car for a really crappy deal. He's like, "Oh, it needs this, and this."
Yeah,
I got it
paid
for
money for it.
$4,500.
Yeah, paid for it, but then all the parts that it needs, like that's too much.
Yeah.
You're losing money on that one.
Oh, they definitely lost money. They now have a receptionist named Janine who literally has nothing to do because they have no customers. Janine and Egon have a bit of a conversation about their hobbies, and Dana comes to see them. Peter immediately comes to meet her aggressively. So they have her tell her story and see that she thinks she's telling the truth, is what they say. They kind of throw around what might be going on and make up like an impromptu plan to investigate because they're like, oh yeah, we just see this stuff all the time and blah, blah, blah. But this is like the first time.
One, yeah.
Peter goes with Dana to check out her apartment, and he's acting all serious as if he's done this before. Like he's spraying this thing, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Or if it does, he doesn't seem to know what to do with it. They check the kitchen and see the mess, but when he opens the fridge door, there's just food and drinks. There's no dog, no Zool.
Salami though, there's salami.
Yeah, you eat this? So, after doing so, he hits on Dana, and she is not having it. Which is the part you were talking about, where he's just like, "I'm gonna go for broke. I see you," and it's like it seems really over the top.
Yes.
She seems pretty put out by the entire situation, in fact. Peter says that he'll solve her problem, and she's like, whatever, and pushes him out of the apartment. I do like it. No kiss.
Yeah, I did like that.
He just mushes him out. Lewis comes out and sees him and goes to return him to his apartment, but unfortunately he's locked out, so he just stands there facing his door. I'm like, I like Lewis.
I like Lewis.
So, as the guys are eating what seems to be the last of their meals they can afford, they actually get a call from another client who needs help. They take the pole down to the car that is now decked out as Ecto-1 and go to a hotel to help. They walk in like they are superheroes and meet up with the manager who tells them about the 12th floor being haunted. So they head up to the 12th floor to check it out, and we find out that their proton packs are basically little nuclear reactors. Did you like the conversation with the old man before they got in the elevator? They were talking about they were exterminators.
Yeah, the bug must be a big bug.
He's like, that's one cockroach.
Yeah.
Take your face off, man. So they hop off the elevator, and Ray and Egon get spooked by a cleaning lady, and they shoot up her cart, which...
She's like, what are you doing?
What the hell you know?
Yeah, I'd be mad too. I'd quit, actually. I didn't leave.
She cleans up the little burnt up toilet paper.
Did you see she was trying to spray out the fire? And it was loud. You could hear it.
Yeah. So, I would say that's a successful test of the equipment. Because you see when they turned it on and they were in the elevator, they like backed away from it.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ray is the first to see the slime ghost eating from a cart. He goes to shoot it, but it completely misses and it disappears into the wall. Egon is searching, and he comes across a living guy and pokes him up to see if he's actually real.
Oh, he was really funny. He kind of reminded me, very strange. Egon was. He was funny.
Then Ray comes across the slime ghost and is basically attacked by him, and he gets slimed. He's like, he slimed me. Egon radios and says that it went into a ballroom, so they go downstairs to attempt to catch it. They see the slime ghost, and it basically destroys the room trying to catch it. I mean, just everything. Their tables and everything is just getting destroyed, this thing. Egon also tells everyone to be sure not to cross the streams from the proton packs, or it would basically end life as we know it. So after more destruction, they finally catch and trap the ghost. They come out and tell the manager, who at first he is like, I had no idea it'd be so much. I won't pay it. But then they're like, all right, that's fine. We'll just put it back. And he's like, no, man, I'll pay. Just get it out of here. So then we get a bit of a montage. You know, I love montages. And of the guys' business increasing and them getting better at what they're doing. They even have like Casey Kasem talking, who I don't think you know who Casey Kasem is. He was really big on radio and everything like that.
It's cool when movies can do that, though.
Yeah.
When they pull in like real stuff and you're like, whoa. Like, I think, like, if, I guess, like, an equivalent would be, like, if that was present day,
Yeah.
have them on, like, Jimmy Fallon or something.
Right, because they have him on, Larry King is talking to and stuff like that, and they have him on, I think, Johnny Carson. And all of those people at the time were those people, and I like that too. I think that's really cool.
It adds layers to it, makes it feel more real.
Right, because it's actually, and they're showing all the, like, the newspapers that are of the time and stuff like that going on, on Time Magazine and everything, so it's getting so busy that Ray is even having dreams about ghosts, but we're not going to really go into that. They decide to hire on a fourth guy, so Winston Zedmore comes aboard. We then get a little scene where Dana and Peter discuss her case, and he tells her about Zool. They also discuss Gozar. Peter tries to get a date with Dana again, and she actually accepts this time. He's a little bit more real, I think. He's like, I respect you and this, that, and the other. He doesn't come on so strong, I think, and she's like, okay. Still a little bit forced, but...
Yeah, for the sake of plot.
Yeah. Ray is going through the ropes with Winston, showing him how to store the ghost when a man from the EPA named Walter Peck stops by to see Peter. The guy that played Walter Peck plays this kind of character in almost every single movie that he's in. Like, he's always this jerky kind of guy. I actually really like him as an actor, but like, he's in like Die Hard. He's in Real Genius, and in all of those, he was in Biodome, and he's always this same kind of character. It's just interesting. Just a little bit of tidbit.
Well, we talked about getting stuck in roles before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Peck is interested in the storage facility of the ghosts because he wants to see if there's anything dangerous about him. Which, to me, he's put off as if he's the jerk.
Right, but it's fair.
But that's his job.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I want to know what the heck you guys got going on.
You say you got ghosts and there's nobody. I mean, if these people were saying they were catching ghosts, I'm going to want to see them. What are you doing
You
with
say
the
you
ghost?
have a storage containment system. What is this storage containment? Is it dangerous? Do we need to know about it? Is it unlicensed? And it is. I mean, the whole city, they even say it. They're proton packs, unlicensed nuclear, whatever.
Something.
Yeah. They're... This ghost containment system is not something that's licensed. So they kind of make this guy as if he's the jerk, but in my opinion, he's not. He's just doing his job. So that night, it seems that the dog statues that are on top of Dana's apartment come to life. She's returning home and walks by Lewis's apartment quietly, but he still hears her. He says they can stop by the party if they want because she says she has a date. And he's like, oh, you made a date? It's okay. You can still come by if you want. Just bring him along too. So she's like, okay, we'll see if we can stop by. And then he finds that he's locked out of his apartment again. So a nice running joke, in my opinion. Dana gets a call from her mom and talks for a second and tells of the date she has with Peter. She then hears growling from the kitchen, but before she can react, hands shoot up from inside the chair she is sitting on and hold her down. And then she gets sucked into the kitchen kind of poltergeist style, and the door slams. Did that scare you at all when the hands shot up to the couch? Did you happen to... was there anything where you, jumped in this movie?
No.
Or really?
No.
I was curious.
It wasn't really... Again, this whole movie's more of a haha funny.
Right.
So it's like... I'm not really taking any of it seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm not really involved. I wasn't really... I didn't feel...
You weren't, in the moment
right,
waiting for something.
I wasn't... Yeah. So then... And then you have that thing, it's like, boo! And it's like, oh, hands up the thing! And it's like, boo, boo! And it's like...
Yeah,
I guess.
I just wasn't sure if with that, when that happened, if you were going to be, if you, got any kind of jump scare with it or anything like that, because it just happens. The hands just shoot up all of a sudden, so...
No, that one didn't get me.
Okay. We then see Lewis's party where basically everyone is a client, not a friend.
Yeah. He's like, I prefer this way. It makes more sense.
Do you know, and I don't think that I put in that whole entire thing was like an impromptu monologue that he did.
Oh, really?
He did it all himself, that whole entire thing.
He's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
He just goes on about this breed $14.95. I write this whole thing off.
Yeah, he's like, you get this for much cheaper if you just buy it like this. And
so she's like, maybe if we start dancing, everybody. So like,
yeah, she just starts dancing. It's so dumb. Well, if one person starts, and everyone will jump in.
Yeah. He hears a growl come from the bedroom, and one of the dog beasts from the roof comes slamming out and chasing him. He does haul butt and tries to get away, but the thing ends up tracking him down. I love how when he's running, the lady comes out of her apartment and is all, whoa!
Yeah, then she closes the door again. That was funny. There was a lot of background stuff that was good with this.
I also think that the girl that he was dancing with, I think she actually fell over the ledge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's all, like she goes out through the door, and then she I'm like, did she just fall over the ledge?
I don't know.
So
I wasn't looking at her.
Nice. But yeah, that old lady coming out and being all, oh! And then she slams the door back. I'm like...
It was like she was going to complain.
You're not wrong.
Like, I'm not, yeah.
You're not wrong for your reaction. That is exactly what I would do. It's just like, oh, somebody brought a bear in the party.
Yeah.
I also like he's running through the park and everything like that. And then when he's up against the glass on the restaurant, and everybody hears him screaming and everything like that. Then when he gets eaten or whatever happens, they're just like back to their meal. Like they don't even react. They're just nobody stands up, nobody goes and looks, nobody does anything. They just go back to their conversations if it was just normal. And I'm like, ew.
But that's how society is.
I get that. I think that it's a good commentary
you see
on
something
it.
like that, and you're just like, okay, well, it's not my business. I'm going back to what I was doing. Maybe I'll comment on it and be like, oh, well, that was weird. Anyways, back to you. It's like,
right.
So
and it's New York on top of that to boot, which is kind of like just satire of saying just how this is just normal. Is this performance art? Is somebody doing something?
Speaking of,
yeah, what you got
in Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
there is actually a scene like that where they fall like off the web shooter onto the ground.
Yeah,
and Miles is like, "Could you think you could go around it?" No, thanks, New York, because people just walk on top of them. So I guess a little funny.
Yeah, but there's like in Die Hard with a Vengeance with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, they think a bomb's about to blow up, so they go running from it real fast, and they're like, bomb, bomb, bomb. They jump, and they it's not really gonna blow up, and that's literally a guy goes, welcome to New York, and tries to hand them money like he's a homeless person or something. It's like, welcome to New York, it's like that, and that's literally how I took this as well, where these people, and like you're saying, oh, thanks New York, it's just how it is.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
In Spider-Verse?
No, in Die Hard.
You remember that?
No, I've never seen that movie.
I didn't think so, you jerk.
Yeah, I was joking.
Man, you had me fly. I was like, holy cow, you've seen that movie? How did you see that one in yet? You know what?
I've always been tempted to watch it though because they reference a lot. They reference it a lot in The Office.
Yeah,
I like The Office.
So we'll watch the first one because technically, and opposed to other podcasts that I'm not going to mention, don't think it's a Christmas movie. I say it's a Christmas movie because it happens at a Christmas party during Christmas, and it's a Christmas movie, but it's not Christmassy.
Oh, good! I love Christmas.
But Gremlins is a Christmas movie as well. I know, but people say just because something takes part during Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it doesn't make.
What is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
No.
See.
Yes?
I say it is.
Yes?
I say it is because
it's about Christmas.
But it's not.
But it is. His family leaves him because of Christmas, so he has to spend Christmas alone, and then his family comes back. It's all
okay.
happy.
So
right, but
Zach's character in Gremlins gets to Gremlin because it's an early Christmas present.
Is that all?
So
it's
that
about?
makes it.
Is that it's all about?
No, but is that all that Home Alone's about? I'm not.
Yes,
argue.
it is. It is about his family leaving him on Christmas. And being alone for Christmas, and then people coming to his house for Christmas because he lives in a rich Christmassy neighborhood. So they're like, "Oh, let's rob him because it's Christmas." So I think that's pretty centered around Christmas. So I do think that it's a holiday movie. But Gremlins, if you get a gift and then nothing else is about Christmas during that movie, it's not a Christmas movie.
Well, but there is things that are going on, like getting like a Christmas tree and stuff like that. Don't you bow me? No, you leave Blue alone. So, so Peter shows up at the apartment for the date with Dana, and she says, "Are you the keymaster?" And at first he says, "No," and she slams the door. Then he knocks again, and when she asks, he says, "Yes." He says, "I'm a friend of his."
And then she pulls him in.
Yeah. When he asks her name, she says it is Zul, and that she is the gatekeeper. She says they are preparing for the coming of Gozar, the Destructor. She's clearly possessed. So he tries to talk to Dana, but Zul is like, "There is no Dana, only Zul." Then it starts to float. That was another part that I was curious. Like when he's like below her, and like all of a sudden she goes, "Rah," like that. I was wondering if that, no, didn't get you at all, huh?
Maybe it would have if I was more awake.
Okay, fair. We then see Lewis now running around like a madman looking for the gatekeeper, saying that he is Vince Glartho, the keymaster. So the cops take him to the Ghostbusters to figure out what to do with him because they're like, yeah, we don't know what else to do with him. We figure this is kind of like your department.
You know, I kind of I kind of take points away for this one because it was kind of hard to realize that he had been possessed. And, like, why the dog was chasing after him specifically. You know, not everyone, the dog went after him. And then he comes back, and then suddenly he's like, I'm for the gatekeeper and everything. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then with her as well, being like... But hers made more sense because she was in the room.
Right.
With everything focused, but he didn't. His didn't make...
I think it has to do with the fact that they're in the building, and... that they're just in proximity to where it is. I don't know. I never knew why it had to be him. If you were a dog
and you need to pick somebody out, there's a whole room full of people, and this
Yeah.
other one's running away. You're going to chase him away? No.
I don't have a good reason for him other than it just helps the story along.
Yeah.
But I do know of why her, so that makes sense. That's a fair point. A fair point, me lad. So, Egon tests him out and sees that he looks to be possessed. Peter calls and talks to Egon, talking to him and telling him what's going on and that he drugged her with Thorazine to keep her knocked out. Funny thing about Thorazine, not something that just a doctor that's a parapsychologist or whatever would really have on them.
He's kind of sketchy.
You'd have... Yeah. Yeah. Why do you have Thorazine, was my question.
For the ghost, maybe.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's something that you just randomly always have on you, but we'll go beyond that.
For the sake of plot.
For the sake of plot, he knocked her out with Thorazine. Egon says it would not be good to get them together because he's like, oh, we got to get these two together. And Egon's like, yeah, no, that would not be good. Ray and Winston discuss End of Days and Judgment Day, as well as the building that Dana lives in, saying that it's kind of weird at that point in time. Walter Peck shows back up at the station with police and an electrician saying that he has a court order to shut down the ghost containment system. Egon tells him not to do so because it would be like dropping a bomb on the city. They argue back and forth, but in the end, the electrician shuts it off, so literally every ghost that has been captured is now freed. At the time, Lewis, or Vince, however you want to say it, also escaping, saying this is the sign that he was waiting for. Peck stops the Ghostbusters and tells the police to have them arrested for violating the EPA. Meanwhile, the ghosts are spreading all over the city while we get a montage of ghosts attacking. Like the green ghost is out again, and then the guy driving the taxi and everything like that. Vince is meandering through the city, basically making his way back to the building to find Dana. While in jail, they continue to review the building that Dana is living in and find that it was designed as a superconductive antenna for pulling in supernatural entities. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I also like that scene because everybody that's in the jail keeps listening and coming around as if...
Yeah, he was like, you get that?
Everybody got that? And they just keep on coming back and coming back. Let's see. So... apparently, the designer of the building built it the way he did on purpose in order to bring about the end of the world. Like he was in a cult and the cult worshiped Gozar and everything like that. So we get a good bit of information actually from this scene. The Ghostbusters are then let out to see the mayor at his request. When Lewis and Dana finally meet up, it's funny because Lewis is so small compared to Dana. Like, she bends him over to kiss him and everything like that.
Right.
So while at the mayor's, Peck also shows up and says that the Ghostbusters released a gas that makes people think they are seeing ghosts. The mayor's not sure what to do, so the Ghostbusters basically go off on how bad it is. Like, just talking about it's end of days. And, you let us do this and it's going to be great for you. But if you don't, then, it's going to be bad. And also, if nothing happens, then nothing happens. We go to jail, we get a break, whatever. So the mayor allows the Ghostbusters to go and face the problem. They get a police escort to the building, and they show up like celebrities. Like, they get out and they're all like, yeah. While preparing to go in, there is an earthquake, and it looks like they get sucked up, but then they're okay. This just charges the crowd up even more. Like, they're all, hey, Ghostbusters.
Would be really funny if the movie ended there.
Right, they get sucked in, and then the credits roll. It's like, oh, well, I guess that's the end. You got that part of the movie.
Yeah.
So they head into the building and have to take the stairs up to the roof, which looks to be like 30 floors high. So boo to that.
No, honestly, I would have given up after 4.
Right.
I'm going to be like, there's got to be an elevator, my guy, or I can't do that.
I'd have looked up and then credits roll and
yeah. Yeah, no. My knees would have literally just turned to brittle. That's awful. I can't do that.
No, there's no way.
Because you're gonna start off wanting to run up them so you can get up fast.
Yeah. And
then it's gonna be and you get all that stuff on your back that you're carrying.
Yeah.
No. Someone's dragging me, or I'm just not going.
Right.
I don't care if it's the end of days.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to figure something out.
Anyway, we can get you to come down here. No.
You sure?
Ghostbusters.
I would really honestly rather somebody like plane me up there or something, helicopter than take myself and walk up all those stairs, because no.
Yeah.
I mean we went to Ocean Breeze. Yeah. I don't know. I won that stuff for work.
Yep.
And there was one. It was a water slide, and it was so far. Like, I mean, like,
you went to King's Dominion.
King's Dominion. That's what I meant to say. If this is the ground, dude, this thing was like here, and so I'm sitting there and I'm like, the miniature version. Well, if this is the ground, it's like, it was all the way up there, but
yeah.
But it was tall. It was like 5 flights at least, and I mean that's just go there for like 3 seconds of fun. But we got up like 4 times, and dude, when I say like the 4th time I'm going up these 5 flights of stairs, I was done.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I don't want to go up these anymore.
Do you remember we also used an Ocean Breeze water park, and I thought that's actually what you were going to talk about, because there was that same thing where you would go up.
I was younger then. I didn't remember.
Oh, your legs were spry.
Well, I remember. Yeah, but I remember waiting in the lines and being like, this is going to take forever. But we went at a time that was like right when the park had opened, so there was nobody there. So, which also meant a lot of the rides were already closed. So
yeah.
We were to close and would reopen, but we'd be all across the park by the time. We made a really good time.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, just God, walking up those stairs takes so much out of you.
Right. It's at the end, you're like, I need a nap. Like halfway up,
yes, halfway up, I'm like, dude, let me just go back down. Actually,
just turn around and slide down the stairs. Whee!
Yeah. If I fall, I fall.
Oh man, that's funny. So the guys arrive in time to watch Lewis and Dana turn back into their dog forms, which I guess, whatever, and open a giant gate on the roof. The guys go to the gate and watch as another set of doors open and Gozar comes out. Ray goes to talk to her and tell her that she needs to go back to where she came from. And Gozar asks if he's a god, and since he says no, she literally shoots him with electricity and almost knocks them off the roof. She's like,
and I like that Winston was like, if somebody asks if you're a god, you say you're God.
Yes, you say yes.
Yeah.
They then try to shoot her with their proton packs, but she just flips all over the place and they miss. She then disappears, and they think they're like, oh, we won. But then they hear the voice telling them to choose the form of the destructor. Peter says to empty their heads, but Ray accidentally thinks of a childhood memory, which happens to be the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man.
I always thought it was the Michelin Man.
No.
The one with tires on him?
Yeah.
I always thought it was the tire dude.
Oh, wow. So a giant marshmallow man starts wreaking havoc on the city Godzilla style. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man steps up on a church that's next to the building, and they're like, nobody wrecks a church in my town. So they shoot him up with the proton packs, and he catches on fire. He starts to climb the building while the Ghostbusters decide that crossing the streams is the only way to reverse the polarity on the doors, closing them. So they shoot into the gate and cross the streams, and a giant explosion happens, blowing up the rooftop and turning the Marshmallow Man into goop. And did you see that explosion? Like, it literally, like, burned him to nothing. I'm like, I don't see how you would have survived.
I don't see how you would have, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I guess. But
for the sake of the movie magic, I'll just turn a blind eye.
I would have seen that you were pretty dead, but all right. So, a giant portion of it falls directly on Peck. He gets, like, marshmallow goo all over him. And for whatever reason, he was there. I don't even know why he was there. Why would he have been there, other than for the sake of the movie, so that he can get gooped up? So now the guys start to move, and it turns out they all survived. So yay. They find Dana and Lewis, and they are all burned up dogs. But then it turns out that they're inside the burned up dogs, and they're alive. So they break them out of those, free them, and Peter and Dana kiss, which, okay.
Whatever, yeah.
The Ghostbusters are celebratory and go out to meet the crowd that is still waiting downstairs. And, like, everybody's all, Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters, and the credits roll. And then we get Slimer coming out, flying at the screen one more time, and then it goes to the normal black credits. And that's pretty much how the movie ends. So, your overall thoughts on the movie?
I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was, like, sarcastic humor, so it was, like, funny, scary.
Yeah.
But it's not anything that I would ever have watched, like, on my own. And that's why I hadn't. You know, I've known about this movie, but I didn't ever have the want to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Because it didn't appeal to me. So it's not something that I would particularly go and see.
Gotcha. Do you think in any way at all it could be classified as a romantic comedy?
No.
Okay. That just happens to be a subset in the movie.
Yeah, I don't even think that was necessary.
Gotcha. Would you recommend it to a friend?
I guess if they like this kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying it's like a bad movie or anything.
Not necessarily that it's a bad movie, but just not something you would really watch. How many moves did you give it?
3 out of 5.
You gave it a 3 out of 5. That's still pretty decent for it. So
Look,
because
I don't give anything a 2 unless it's bad. Okay, my 2s are justified.
I'm not saying they're not, man. I honestly, watching it again and everything like that, would give it a 3 as well.
Oh, you give it a 3?
Yeah,
oh,
I give it a 3. It's a good movie. It's something that if it's on, we'll leave it on. If there's nothing else on, whatever. Like, if it's between Ghostbusters and Overboard is on as well, we're gonna flip on Overboard.
Right. It just didn't live up to my expectation of it.
You really thought it was gonna be much more.
Yeah.
I think you've got.
But I think because it's such a classic and like the pop culture around it is why it's still so big.
It is that, and I'm trying to think of who in your time would be Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, who plays Egon. Those two guys, Dan Aykroyd. All three of these guys had been. I mean, they already had like Stripes, Caddyshack, Blues Brothers, Saturday Night Live. They had all of these already like established, already like from 5-6 years back into this movie. So like you're talking, these guys had been. These are the guys. Like for the 80s, these were the guys that you wanted in a comedy movie. So when people saw these, they're like, boom, heck yeah, man. So you had that. Then you had where the special effects were really good for the time. And then you had the story, which was original and everything like that. You had Sigourney Weaver, who, was from Alien and Aliens, and now she's in this. And you had Rick Moranis, who's hilarious. And, he had his Strange Brew and his other movies that he had been in. And it's just an all-star cast, and it's a great story for the most part that everybody wanted to see. It was original, and then you have just one-liners and comedy. It really is for that time. I'm trying to think of like who now. I mean, even to say like Ryan Reynolds.
That's who I was thinking of.
Is who you were thinking.
That's because when you think of, because everything he's in is more humor based.
Yeah,
he's not in. I can't think of any serious movies that he goes.
Right. Well, he has been in, but even in those, there's usually a comedic undertone.
Yeah.
Like I think like that movie definitely maybe he was in, but I mean, there's like it's really jokey in a lot of it. But who else? Like who are 3 actors for you today that if they were like in a movie, you'd be like, oh yeah, man, those 3 guys right there. Boom, boom, boom. These are them. I mean, because even Ryan Reynolds is kind of before your time, per se.
Oh. Well, I mean, you gotta think about my time. Then I have to think of people, the younger actors. And that's harder. Because there's not a lot of... I'm not exposed to that.
Yeah.
I mean, the young actors I know, if we're gonna go with that, would be like the kids from Stranger Things or the kids from It, the remake.
Yeah.
But I can't think of...
But not kids. I mean, okay, so say Ryan Reynolds. So who are 2 other...
I would say Johnny Depp would be another one. Because Johnny Depp is a great actor in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then I guess for a third...
Anybody?
I'm trying to think of like outside of like favorite actors. Oh, Paul Rudd, yes. Oh, see, but I was thinking, but you say that, but he said like that's not my time. Paul Rudd's almost 50.
but Johnny Depp, I think, is 50.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, he was in
that.
Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984.
Oh, that's right.
He was like 18. I can't believe you didn't say Paul. See,
it's because he came to mind.
Here's a
I was
thought.
thinking favorite actors, and I went through the list.
So think of the group like from Superbad. You've seen Superbad.
Oh, I love that movie. That movie's so funny.
And then you've got that group. Think of the what's his name? Seth Rogen is the cop in that with the other guy.
I'm not a big Seth Rogen fan.
Right, but you're a Paul Rudd fan. So those 2 together, like in Knocked Up.
Oh yeah,
are hilarious.
That was funny.
And then I Love You, Man. See those guys. When I see Paul Rudd, I think, oh, I'll probably watch this movie.
I just think of how I would do anything for that man.
Except for name him in your you.
See, but you said not my time. You were thinking about my. So my mind went to the younger generations. I was working up through age. Okay, I'm sorry. I was thinking younger, and I thought Paul, and I was thinking Ryan Reynolds because you were like, oh, funny. So I was like, oh, this. I wasn't thinking the love of my life. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
That's the rules. You messed up.
I guess I'm so sorry, Paul.
You write him a letter. We're gonna get an email. I was gonna come on the show. But then you didn't.
Dude, don't play with me like that. That's not fun.
If you're Paul Rudd, please email us at the
Please email me. Please.
@gmail.com.
This is a desperate help.
All right, man.
I'll be sitting outside. Just come get me.
So I'll be freak. All right. You want to hear some trivia?
Yeah.
All right. So almost none of the scenes were filmed as scripted. Most had at least one ad lib. Most of Bill Murray's lines are all ad lib. So imagine.
See, if you were writing the script, would you be mad about that?
It depends on how I wrote the script. If I wrote the script with the intent of you knowing that you're going to be doing that, no. If I have a script that's written and you're completely rewriting my movie, yes. Yeah. Because apparently, I mean, I didn't really go into it, but oh gosh, Chevy Chase, who had been in a whole bunch of different movies, and he was the dad from the Vacation movies. I know you haven't seen it, you don't watch it, but the Christmas Vacation, you know who I'm talking about if I say that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He was offered a role in this, and he turned it down because he said that the script that he read was a lot darker and scarier. Like, it wasn't this kind of movie at all. So he didn't want to be in it. So
sucks for him.
Yeah. When Venkman mentions the time Spangler tried to drill a hole in his head, Spangler's response is, "That would have worked if you hadn't stopped me," was actually an ad lib by Harold Ramis. So, in the middle of the film's initial release, to keep interest going, Ivan Reitman ran a trailer that was basically the commercial the Ghostbusters used in the movie. You know, "We're ready to believe you." That. But the 555 number was replaced with a 1-800 number, allowing people to actually call in. Callers got a recorded message of Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd saying something to the effect of, "Hi, we're out chasing ghosts right now." They got 1,000 calls per hour, 24 hours a day for 6 weeks. People just kept calling. Nothing better to do.
I guess not. I like when people set things up like that, though. When they can set up voicemails and such like that.
Yeah.
I've done that before where I've called and they leave the little cool things. I'm trying to think of the one show that did it. But you called and they were like, bah, 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 and it was like, oh, that's so cool.
That's cool.
But,
the character of Winston was meant to have joined the team much earlier and would have been this one that got slimed in the hotel. But when Eddie Murphy declined the role, the script was rewritten to have Winston appear about halfway through the film. Yeah, initially that part was written basically for Eddie Murphy.
Oh, dang.
But
why did he decline it?
He had something, he was filming another movie, I believe. Yeah, so he didn't want to be in it. And then they shrunk the role down, like way down, which is sad. Harold Ramis only intended to write the film, but he decided to play Dr. Egon Spangler after he felt he was the best person suited for the role. So, the demon dogs that come to life were actual statues designed on an old church in Philadelphia. So they actually exist. You can go see them.
Oh, good.
This was the highest grossing comedy of all time until Home Alone in 1990.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which, comedy? I guess Home Alone's a comedy? Yeah. And the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man suit cost approximately $20,000 each. 3 of them were made, and all 3 were destroyed during filming.
It's kind of one of those things you gotta get it right the first time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you would hope so. So.
Did they do that for the Macy Days Parade? Have we ever done the
Did they have a Stay Puffed?
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know. Do you want to look it up?
Yeah, I can do that.
Cool.
Stay Marshmallow Man Macy Day Parade.
Uh,
2016. Oh
no, boo. Not that. 2015 Macy's.
2015.
Oh.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but it's the other. That's 2015, so it's probably that crap movie. So I guess not. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Yay!
Yay.
It's my boy. Oh, nice.
Oh, what is this? This is horrible. I hate this.
Oh, no. Hey, you want to go to
No.
If you kids don't straighten up, I'm going to take you to the Macy's Day Parade.
Not even wrong.
No.
Oh, look at this one.
Hey, man, floats were floats. What can you do?
I hate it. Oh, I'm not liking them. Oh, what's this?
Squidward.
Oh. I thought that was something else.
Huh?
Not the spider again.
What else? You got anything from your notes or anything else?
Nothing. I don't think so.
So, an overall enjoyable movie. I mean, like I said, we watch it when it comes on. I don't hate the movie. I enjoy the movie. I love to watch it. We've watched it so many times, and then I basically got it memorized. Your aunt loves this movie.
Which one?
Jody. So you're probably going to get a nasty gram.
I didn't say anything bad about
I know, I'm joking. I just like to give you heck.
Everyone gives me egg.
So
all the time.
Definitely better than part 2, although I enjoy part 2 as well. And they're making there's a sequel that's coming out that's based off of this one instead of that crappy female one that came out. And I'm not saying that because it's female. I'm saying that because they decided this. Oh, we're gonna make them all females, and I didn't watch it. I refused. Where basically I think it's called Ghostbusters Legacies or Legacy. It's where they find Ecto-1 in, like, the grandkids find it. And some of them show up and stuff like that. Paul Rudd is in it.
Oh,
I promise you, yes.
Oh,
that's why
yeah. I will be watching.
You've not seen
for
that
the plot, for sure.
For the plot, this is a great movie. Yeah, he's the dad.
Good.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So
love me some good Paul Rudd.
Nice. All right, we're going to wrap this up tonight. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by and listening to our 32nd episode. We do definitely appreciate it more than you could imagine. And of course, best way to say that you love us is to give us that 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you listen. I think you can even get some review on our website. Pretty neat. You can email us at the yesteryearpodcast@gmail.com, twitter.com/yesteryearpcast, instagram.com/yesteryearpodcast, facebook.com/yesteryearpodcast. We do have our private group, the Truffle Shufflers. Our secret question is the host names, James and Beth. We have our wonderful website, which is the yesteryearpodcast.com. Please go there, visit us, leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show if you do. We have our Patreon, which is patreon.com/the nostalgia group. Of course, a shout out to Greg Revan for our intro and outro music. And as always, we love you and say goodnight, Beth.
Good night, everyone.
You've been listening to a Fourth Hand Joint.